Hello chipsters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. We're not going to do a face-to-camera intro on this one. Yes, huge sigh of relief I can hear from the collective. But we will take a quick look at these Normans I've put together between last night, in between doing, putting together Perry Hussar, British Napoleonics. Yes, we'll get there in a minute. You probably saw that video anyway. I just thought I was going to just give you a quick tour of the sprue, and I thought, what's the point? You know, it's one sprue. It's hardly to shout about. So let's see them. What I think of them. I believe I've not done Victrix before. I do obviously a lot of figures, so that might be wrong, but I don't think I have. Hopefully that looks great, doesn't it? But yeah, we'll see. I'll go over this again and give them one last scrape if I have to. Be a bit of filling on these. I cut the arm off. I believe it was this guy I cut the arm off. No, I didn't. I cut the arm off one of these others. You have to, in my opinion, you have to play around with. I haven't got with the figures. I haven't got any. I don't know if they have any instructions in the bag they give you when they do their 30 or 40 figures. This is just one sprue I bought off eBay. But I've had to snip off arms a bit closer, especially with the chainmail, to make things fit. But still, I like them. I do like them. You're always going playing around with blooming mould lines when you've got multi-folds in fabric. It's always a nightmare. But we'll see how it goes. And again, I do leave them slightly in place around chainmail, because otherwise you completely have to, rub it down to nothing. And then try and put holes back in. I still might have to do that, but we'll see what it looks like. One thing I would like to have a tackle of is obviously you get these. Come on, Gav, let's find a pointy stick as usual. You get obviously just a solid cut there. Well, that looks a bit rough, really, doesn't it? So might either chase it out with a drill bit. I don't want to use one of I've got obviously these proper reamers and routers, but obviously it'll cause havoc in there. So I'll either drill it out with a Dremel and drill folds in it, but I'm more than likely, or I might drill it out, which I probably will do, but then maybe impact it with a bit of milliput was the word I was after, Gav. Just so we haven't got these flat edges there, and then obviously use a bit of milliput where's needed on any joins like that one there. Probably do with filling a bit better. But yeah, I really like them. Obviously I will try. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the sprue in, to be honest with you, because I'm only filming on the mini tripod. I've given most of them swords, but swords were expensive obviously back in those days, and they were quite often family heirlooms, and yeah, not everybody had a sword. Although I would imagine that a fair few managed to have swords by the time that, say, the Battle of Hastings. This guy, oh yeah, he's got a sword. He's just got, obviously, is it a gabison? I'm not very up on medieval stuff, but yeah, but the quilted, stuffed normally with horsehair, I believe. And obviously just the usual, what they call it, like hood type effect. I've given as many as I could, apart from to show a bit of variation. I've given a lot of spears, because that was the primary weapon. Your sword was your last line of defence, really, especially against a shield wall. You needed something long and pointy like this guy to strike through the steel. Not even throw it, but keep stabbing through the shield wall. Obviously, no shields on these guys. They will have them, but I made a command decision to paint those separately. Again, what I'll normally do is once I've stuck them down on bases, and I've done a bit of putty around the bases, I'll then get my IPA alcohol and wipe them all down. See any last mould lines that I can fix. Try and melt some other mould lines in if I can with the glue. Some have heads and faces, helmets already on, and they just attach into the back part of the figure that they've got, and others just helmets that stick on top of heads. So we don't have to do much facial facial work on that guy. Had to remember to cut his sword hilt off. Some of the shields, I'll try and get them on camera, but I don't think they're going to fit. But some of the shields have the more rounded kite shields, and some are just flat kite shields. This guy was a bit trying to get his head into some form of angle, and in the end I thought, no, that's fine. Once he's got his shield up there, it looked like he's inclining his head, ready to give somebody a belt with the axe. They did use axes as well. If you look at the bio tapestry, it wasn't all swords and spears. Obviously, the more wealthy you were as a foot soldier or knight or a foot knight, you know, even helmets were expensive. I don't know if guys like this guy with no armour apart from a helmet, I don't know if you'd rank him just as a foot soldier or a foot knight. I've just given him a bladed weapon rather than a sword, because again, swords are expensive. He has got actually a thing over there, but you could say that's for his kite shield. I mean, you can put the kite shields on the back if you wanted to, but I wanted to have these guys all with their shields up, as if they're trying to strike a shield wall of some description. That guy was a nice touch. Again, a bit of filling in places, but I'm not overly fussed with that. Again, we'll try and chase out some of these areas that are just flat. I suppose they flatten them off like that. One, they're easier to mould, and two, obviously with all the different arm options and things, I suppose it just makes it easier for you to work out yourself. But the price of metals these days, it's just eye-watering. You know, I was looking at some the other day. I mean, that Indian Mutiny project at the moment, I probably will buy the last few soldiers for that one and only regiment I've so far done. But it's just, as I say, eye-watering. As I say, sometimes I paint for the enjoyment and then sell on. I make some money, and because obviously that's my only income, and then obviously I keep some aside to reinvest in the next unit. But if they don't sell, and I mean, a unit of metal cavalry now is horrendous, you know. And if they don't sell, you're suddenly stuck with a unit that you know you're massively out of pocket on. So at the moment, for me, you'll see mainly plastics, just because I can at least afford those and still enjoy painting them. And if they don't sell, well, you know, you're only 20 odd quid down, not anything up to 60 odd quid in some places. I believe that was right. This was a separate, again, he was one of these guys that had half a head, if I remember, or the back part of his head was there, and you put the front option on of your choice, helmet already attached. And I just thought, I know they had the guards that went down over their throats, and I know that some of them also had like ones that would wrap around the mouth part, but I take it that's right. As I say, I'm not medievalist at all, really. But sometimes I just get the fancy to do other parts of history. So yeah. Now, I'll probably mount these because I bought them as a sprue. If I was going to do, I'm still half deciding whether I'd put them as a you know, on a base, if they'll all fit on with all the different poses. That's your only thing with all the with multi-pose things is making sure if you're going to put them on a single base, you get them on, you know, they sit well. But I think I'll be putting these all on singles. And if I did do a huge, you know, mob of them, I would then put them on square bases. But yeah, I quite enjoyed those. I don't think they were too bad to put together. As I say, there's some gaps. There's always going to, you know, if you've got lots of head options like this, if you want them particular ways, then, you know, there's going to be some slight gaps that need filling. The cut-off points on the arms, that's just something you got to deal with. You know, you can either leave them like that and just paint them in black like it's in shadow, or as I say, I'm going to go the next level and just chase them out a bit. As I say, this guy here, you can see that's just too, I mean, that stands out a country mile, so I'll chase that out, I think. See how it looks. Some of these helmets I'll leave in natural. Well, I'm going to paint these on metallics, by the way, as well, not non-metallic, but I will have some painted. They often painted the helmets because paint's not cheap. So I thought some of the helmets I'd paint, maybe on some of the more mailed up guys that have obviously got a bit more money. Some of the guys, like this guy at the back here, I'll just give him a normal helmet and a plain shield as well, and maybe some of these guys. I'm undecided yet. If I can go and buy the shield designs, which are all lovely, but again it's just more expense, or I might try and have a go at painting them myself. I mean, obviously if you're doing basic crosses and just one colour, that's not too bad, but if you're doing mythical beasts and stuff, it might be a bit more problematical. And I know my heart will want me to go and do some fancy mythical beast, which I don't have the artistic temperament to be able to do, but you never know. Let's just move these guys to one side. So say these guys will go on MDF single bases, I think these particular ones. I didn't want to do a load of drawn swords, just because, as I say, that it'd be more favoured weapon to be fighting in a shield wall or against a shield wall with a spear. Right, it's just I think this is going to work, but at least I'll show the kite shields. Right, here's our kite shields. These ones I'm feeling at the back are some are beveled, and some are flat. Some have got more pointed bezels on them, some more rounded. I'd imagine these would be the same the other side. These would be a rawhide. As far as I'm aware, these would be a rawhide outside rim that would be nailed on. You see anything details there? Are they upside down? They are. So we're probably not going to see those. Let's have a look at these. Oh, yeah, that'd be right, wouldn't it? But yeah, you get the usual options: axes, single helmets. They got some nice couple of guys with nice faces, which are obviously on the upturned one. I didn't use those, as in they didn't have helmets on at all. Like that, either they didn't possess one or it got knocked off or something. But I decided not to use those in the end, just for the effect of having them all in helmets. Right, guys, thank you very much. Let's just look at one little bloke. Hopefully when you see these next, or at least a few of them, they'll start getting painted up. As I say, put them on a base now, then go around again one last time and put some filler around, I should say, just to get so we can lose this base. Get some filler around it, let that go off. Then I will go around with a IPA alcohol, wipe them all down again with a cotton bud. Check for what needs to, if there are any mould lines that I think I can get away with taking off without damaging too much of the the stuff underneath. These square bits here are obviously for the shield, to show where the shield are. Shield's nice at the back as well. They're showing them as wood. I believe they also put leather on the back of over the back of them as well sometimes. But I think they're all wooden details. Even the axe handle, they've tried to put some wooden detail in, which was nice. So yeah, I quite enjoyed doing those and building them up and seeing what they look like. There was only one there that had got a torso that needed to be stuck on. There was one, I cannot remember if it was this one. You can see I've done a fair bit of work on it. It could have been this one. In fact, I believe it was. The arm needed to be cut off at one point and then cut off the shoulder, stuck on. I don't know if you were supposed to do. I mean, you had to do it because he had about an 8-foot arm, but I don't know if there was a particular way you were supposed to do it. I've no idea. Bearing in mind this is one sprue, maybe you mix and match them with the other sprues I've got nothing to go on really, so I wasn't 100% sure, so worked out in the end. This little square's always leather as well here. But yeah, looking forward to it. So along with all these, we've not really a Napoleonic update, but just to get one horse out. Yeah, started put my sand around now and just sand these out a bit. I've left these deliberately rough because obviously hopefully it will go in. These were a bit, again, they weren't always straight no matter what you did. I can see now under the camera I've still got blooming gaps there. Well done, Gav. But yeah, that was just milli put as well, and then I'll like gaps like that one at the back. It might be a bit big, but they've all got to be put. Again, I'll give these a sand down where I can. Again, we've got a bit of, I have removed mould lines, but we'll go over again with the IPA, go over again with the scalpel just to check things like that. We'll need to fill. We'll get there. I've not got exactly far yet. We've got six horses complete, and we've got 6 riders done, 6 horses put together, of which 4 are filled. So yeah, we've still got a bit to go on those yet. Anyway, that wasn't what we were there for. We were here for Normans. So yeah, I would, from just building them, yeah, I'm quite impressed with them. I like them. Just be interesting to see how they paint up. Alright guys, look after yourselves. We'll catch each other very soon on another video.